Following his release from HMP York, John Bates is reunited with Anna, and they share an emotional embrace and kiss, happy to be together again. Tom Branson brings Bates back to Downton, where the servants react to his return, with Carson welcoming him and Thomas appearing displeased. At breakfast, Robert, Matthew, and Mary discuss Downton's future, with Matthew advocating for modernization. Violet and Cora clash over Cora's continued support of Ethel, who is now working to improve her cooking. Later, Robert and Mary discuss Tom's future, while Ethel is seen pushing her baby's pram on the estate, highlighting her changed circumstances. Thomas is observed doing Molesley's duties, earning a reprimand from Carson. The servants discuss a film they plan to see at the cinema. Matthew presents his progressive ideas for the estate to Robert and Jarvis, meeting resistance from Robert. Violet observes Ethel struggling in town. Edith expresses her desire for a more meaningful life to Violet, who is hesitant to intervene with Robert. Ethel serves tea to Cora, revealing she faced discrimination in the village. In the kitchen, the staff prepare food and bicker about attending the cinema. Mary visits Tom and baby Sybil and asks to be Sybil's godmother, which Tom happily agrees to, also revealing his brother is coming to visit. Isabel and Robert inspect a cottage, discussing the potential implications for Thomas if Robert hires Jarvis. Later, Thomas smokes in the dining room, where Molesley warns him against doing anything he will regret. At dinner, Alfred serves the Dowager Countess shellfish, but there is an accident. At dinner, Cora expresses regret over unforgiving people, prompting Robert to agree that some are indeed unforgiving. Sybil announces her departure for London the following morning, but accepts Mary's invitation to luncheon beforehand. Privately, Robert urges Violet to dissuade Edith from pursuing marriage, and Violet consents to intervene. Sybil inquires about Tom's future, and he reveals his brother's offer of a partnership in his Liverpool garage. He also mentions that his brother, Kieran, will be visiting Downton for the christening. Carson allows Alfred to still attend the cinema, but warns O'Brien to report any inappropriate behavior. After dinner, Mary confronts Matthew about consulting Murray without Robert's consent. Their argument leads to Matthew confessing his anxieties about failing to produce an heir, and they reconcile intimately. O'Brien subtly chastises Barrow for his behavior towards Alfred, urging him to maintain appearances. Later, Barrow enters James's room and kisses him while he is preparing for bed, but James pushes him away. Carson investigates the commotion and questions Barrow. James tells Alfred that he downplayed the altercation with Barrow to avoid trouble. O'Brien then probes Carson about the incident, but he dismisses her, suspecting her motives. Breakfast continues, with James serving while Alfred and others watch him suspiciously. Meanwhile, Edith, at her writing job in London, is pressured by her boss to accept a permanent position. After agreeing to consider the offer, Edith leaves to visit her aunt. Matthew and Robert then discuss estate management, with Robert criticizing Matthew's socialist views as too simplistic, though even Violet admits that change is inevitable. Back at Downton, O'Brien confronts Barrow about the incident with James, demanding he take action. Robert, Matthew, Jarvis, and Murray argue about the estate's productivity and Jarvis's role, leading to Jarvis's resignation after feeling accused of wrongdoing. To smooth things over, Robert offers Jarvis a good reference. Mrs. Hughes informs Carson that Thomas attempted to kiss the sleeping James, but Carson is skeptical. Robert decides he must replace Jarvis and cannot persuade him to stay. Mary encourages Matthew in his plans for the estate's future. Later, Matthew declares to Mary that he will secure Downton's future for their children if she supports him, and they embrace. Mrs. Hughes advises Alfred to report Thomas to Carson, but warns him of the potential consequences. Edith announces at dinner that she has accepted a job as a journalist in London. Violet advises against Edith's job, suggesting that given her damaged reputation, her best chance at happiness is to move far away, much like Ethel. Carson interrogates Alfred about what he witnessed between Thomas and James, warning him that James could report Thomas to the police, says if Alfred is truthful. Matthew suggests offering the estate agent position to Tom Branson to keep him at Downton. When Carson confronts Thomas, Thomas claims that James came onto him. Barrow gives Carson his word about an undisclosed matter, leaving Carson unsettled. Mrs. Hughes notices Barrow's grim demeanor, but Carson dismisses her concerns, musing on the complexities of human nature. Mrs. Hughes jokingly suggests that poets could learn from Carson's wisdom. The family gathers in the churchyard for baby Sybil's christening. Edith points out Sybil's absence, leading Mary to comment that Sybil is watching over them and envies Branson. Robert agrees to let Tom take over the running of the estate, a decision Tom suggests is a christening gift from the late Sybil. Violet enthusiastically supports the idea. As the family poses for photos, Robert appears uncomfortable, prompting Violet to jokingly ask if he fears conversion by Father Dominic if he doesn't pay attention.